Bro, so we're canceling Taylor Swift now? All right, let's go and check it out, guys. This is a suggestion via Discord. Taylor Swift's popularity plummets after Kamala endorsement. Bro, know your fan base. All right, know your fan base. But either way.
Joining me now is celebrity and royal commentator Kinsey Schofield. Let's start with rapper, music mogul and top Democrat community organiser P. Diddy, also known as Puff Daddy. His real name is Sean Combs, and he is fighting serious allegations, including trafficking. He's in jail right now. He's been denied bail. He faces anywhere from 15 years to life in prison if found guilty. As a result, the left is scrambling to disassociate themselves from Diddy. USA Today even ran this dishonest headline, trying to tie Diddy to Donald Trump. But the reality is...
Wait. Publicly linked. The problem is that Trump in the 90s was everywhere, bro. Like, specifically in terms of like hip hop, like rappers, bro. Trump was everywhere. Like, I mean, everywhere. Like, actors, none of this mattered. Like, he was photographed with everyone who was anyone from New York. Okay, so, yeah, that's a grain of salt. Don't even look at those images as something that is nefarious at all, because, again, Trump was everywhere in the 90s. Specifically, if you were from New York, you couldn't get away from him if you had enough money, bro. Okay? Trump was with all of the celebrities.
I'm trying to tie Diddy to Donald Trump. But the reality is that P. Diddy has been a powerful influence within the Democrat establishment for years. The vote or die campaigns have been enormously successful for Democrats, including in the 2020 election. Here is Barack Obama thanking Diddy for his stellar work.
Yeah, but see, now you're doing exactly what you just accused USA Today of doing. Let's just move on. Like, we get it. Diddy belongs in jail for all the things that he allegedly has done. Allegedly, right? What we've seen, obviously, there was a tape with the singer Cassie, his ex-girlfriend, in a hotel. I mean, that alone should pretty much warrant jail time, bro. But let's just be honest here, okay? But either way, let's continue.
Here is Barack Obama thanking Diddy for his stellar work.
I just want to say how much I appreciate Puff Daddy for doing the kinds of work that he's doing, because he doesn't have to do this. But this is part of what is important about giving back.
Kinsey, it can't just be the Democrats in a tailspin over these allegations. There are fears, I'm sure, amongst many in Hollywood and in the music industry. His parties were attended by big names, the likes of Jay-Z and Leonardo DiCaprio. We're talking about the A-listers here. How many of them would be worried today?
I mean, they're all worried. They're all trying to push back and distance themselves. In the latest lawsuit against Diddy, this is just one of the civil lawsuits. One of his former recording artists claims he assaulted his ex-girlfriend Cassie in front of Usher, Neo. In one of the lawsuits, Prince Harry is mentioned. And the Daily Beast wrote an interesting piece about how Diddy used images with famous friends to dispel these rumors throughout the years that he was engaging in criminal behavior, and that the strategy seemed to work for quite some time.
Oh, absolutely. We've spoken previously on this program
That's
about
valid.
the charges he faced
That's
in
valid.
New York. The woman who was shot in the face and says it was him, but one of his crew took the blame, and she says it was Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, who did it. So he's been skating on thin ice for a long time, but up until this point, he seems to have got away with it, and we'll see. I mean, he still hasn't been convicted, but...
I mean, he's gotten away with it by framing other people. All right, that's just the reality of the situation here, allegedly. Right. The person who she's obviously talking about is an artist named Shine. He went to jail. He thought that Diddy was going to help his case, but instead he basically, for the most part, paid witnesses to come and basically, put Shine in jail for something that he may not have done. Right. So just keep that in mind. I mean, that was definitely an interesting case.
Skating on thin ice for a long time, but up until this point, he seems to have got away with it, and we'll see. I mean, he still hasn't been convicted, but certainly these charges are serious enough that bail has been denied. Now, his former girlfriend, fiance, Jennifer Lopez. She's joined the list of celebs endorsing Kamala Harris. She did that during Kamala's interview with Oprah. Now, we all know J-Lo isn't exactly known for her ability to make wise choices. It's not just a P. Diddy connection. How many divorces are we up to now?
I think we're almost full. We're almost a handful.
God,
We're at 4 now. But you know what's so interesting about what's so interesting about this, Rita?
Look at her face. That was dirty. That was dirty. Okay. that was dirty, bro. Let's go.
Is that
Let's go.
The rumor here in Hollywood is that her people are mentally preparing in case a tape between her and Diddy comes out. That is what they are so scared of. So J-Lo very much trying to distance herself, despite the fact, remember that Versace dress? Her and Diddy, he elevated her at that time, and she hasn't said a peep since all of this has gone down.
Now, another celebrity who has famously endorsed Kamala Harris, possibly the most famous celebrity in the world right now, Taylor Swift. Well, that endorsement appears to have backfired. It seems to have hurt her image more than it has damaged him. There's a new survey that shows she's now got a favourability rating that's below Donald Trump. Hers sits at 42%. His is at 47%. What do you make of this endorsement? Do you think it's a wise move for these celebs to come out so strongly against one candidate or another?
I mean, it's their opinion. I hear I hear it, right? You're saying because someone has a gigantic, fan base, that they should not have a public opinion about a single thing. That's crazy, right? But here's the problem. This is why you shouldn't idolize celebrities in the first place, because they're people. They're people with money, right? They're people with means. They have the ability to kind of, say one thing and move mountains for the most part. Stop the concept of idolizing them, and then you take away a lot of their power, bro. But does it surprise me that Taylor Swift is, being currently disliked pretty strongly by her fan base and others? Not really. Again, do you not know your fan base? I've heard her music. I'm not a fan. I'm not her demographic. Okay. But I can almost promise you this here. Okay. Her demographic is going to, the majority of them are not voting for Kamala Harris. Okay. There are some people who absolutely think that she's the most beautiful woman on this planet. These are guys, a lot of them, that were at that march. The people will not replace us. Those guys, right? A lot of them think that she's the ideal beauty, right? Like some weirdness, right? Those guys are definitely not voting for Kamala Harris. So yeah, you wrecked your fan base, Taylor Swift. You didn't know who your fans were. You didn't know the people who liked you more than anyone else. All right. Again, I don't like her music at all. I heard one thing. It was boring.
I think that Taylor Swift is so stubborn, and this was such a bad move on her part. If you just scroll through TikTok, you see all of the moms that are like, I will never give her another dime. My daughter will not attend another concert. And I think she really, has become such a polarizing figure for doing this again. And Kamala is not the answer. It's like they were all quiet when it was Biden, and they all knew he was too old. But how is Kamala any better? She is the Biden administration.
They don't care about that. They care about the sister code exclusively. She's a woman. I have to support her no matter what. That's the ideology. Purely. That's it. That's all that it is. She's a woman. I have to support her regardless of whatever. I don't care. A woman over a man. I'm a woman. I'm going to support a woman. That's how that works. Please don't be confused about this.
Well, they don't really explain why she's better. They don't really explain which of her policies that they love and what's going to improve the country. It all seems to be
superficial.
This TDS they're all afflicted with, Trump derangement syndrome.
TDS.
Now, Janet Jackson's back down.
Is that a thing? TDS? What is that?
All afflicted with Trump derangement syndrome.
Trump derangement
now, Janet
syndrome?
Jackson's back down from her claims that Kamala Harris isn't really black. She released a statement clarifying her claims and saying that she was misled by misinformation. Tell me about this reaction. I did see an almighty media storm when her initial comments were made public.
I mean, she's been completely destroyed on the internet. She's being torn apart on social media. And I think there was an interesting and well-documented argument in the idea that Kamala has previously embraced her Indian heritage much more than her father's Jamaican heritage. Listen to her accents on the road, plural accents. It does often feel like she is pandering to engage a specific audience. But when you get it so wrong, like Trump and Janet, it jeopardizes the entire debate.
Kamala Harris is interesting, right? To my knowledge, she's basically always been like Indian. Okay, that's it. That's what I always thought that she was. Pretty much based off of all of the awards that she won, specifically from like that community specifically, but then lately, they're like, oh, well, she's Jamaican, so she has to be black. Bro, have you ever been to Jamaica? Right? I have two children. Well, three children. But I have two children from a very long time ago. Okay. And that woman is from Jamaica. Right? I'm not sure they're all black. Okay. I've been to Jamaica many, many, many times. Okay. Just because your passport says Jamaica, it doesn't mean, like, have you been there? Because there are people who look like her with Jamaican passports, okay, and her with Jamaican passports, and me with Jamaican passports. I'm thoroughly confused by what you mean by she's black because she's Jamaican. So Jamaicans aren't black. I think that's the overall talking point. So Jamaicans aren't black. Not all of them. No, like at all. Like, so Jamaicans aren't black when they have Jamaican on their passport? No, that doesn't make you, that's not a thing, okay? But either way, let's do it. Let's continue.
Trump and Janet, it jeopardizes the entire debate.
I'm not saying that that's like the selling point for her,
It does. And
it's pointless
I think there is
what I mean is, like, it's pointless to say, oh, she's black because she's Jamaican. It's pointless to say that. It's completely irrelevant. You can say she's black cultured. Sure, do that. Right? But either way.
Argument that some make that she's not African American because of her ethnicity, Jamaican and Indian, but really shouldn't.
The majority of African Americans are not African Americans. So that's another moot point.
Matter what her ethnicity is. This obsession with race seems to be so backward. Now, this story is fascinating. It's something like from a mini-series. An internal memo intended for New York Magazine staff has been leaked, revealing that one of their star reporters, Olivia Nuzzi, has had a secret romantic relationship with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., lasting for around 9 months. She's now on leave while the matter is being investigated. Kinsey, what more can you tell us about this? Robert F. Kennedy is married, last I checked. How does his wife, Cheryl Hines, feel about this?
What I can tell you is that I'm obsessed with this story, okay? We understand that...
Why are you obsessed with it?
The story leaked after RFK was bragging about nude pictures he'd received from this journalist. Cheryl Hines has since been seen without her wedding band. RFK Jr. was seen over the weekend wearing his in Las Vegas. By the way, I would not trust that man alone in Las Vegas. But, you know, he has a history of cheating on his wife. He has a history of being a lust addict. And I didn't see this coming. I thought that he'd outgrown this. I thought that he'd become a better man.
Define a better man. I don't like generally when people that are not men attempt to define what a man is, right? But I will point out that you shouldn't be cheating on your wife. That's a little ridiculous, bro. Like, why would you get married? That's crazy. Don't cheat on your wife. Okay? RFK Jr.
Yeah, I cannot believe he's still carrying on like this at this age. I mean, when will he grow up? And
I mean, at that age, he can still have kids, right? If it was flipped, that person couldn't.
Cheryl Hines, by all accounts, is just about the nicest person in Hollywood. Even having this association with Donald Trump as a Hollywood star hasn't really damaged her too much because she's so well liked. I think Larry David said she's the nicest person in Hollywood. She doesn't deserve this, Kinsey.
Absolutely not. I'm so ashamed of it for RFK Jr. because his family was vicious when he decided he was going to run for president. And you were almost rooting for him because you couldn't believe that his entire family was so vicious throughout the process. But now you're like, well, what? Maybe they knew something.
Okay.
Well, no, their rationale was entirely different. Kinsey
Right.
Schofield,
Like, what are you talking? See, this is an interesting person, very emotional. For what reason, I don't know. I'm glad that she actually came in and was like, what are you talking about? In a nice way.
thank you so much for your time this evening.
Ooh, guys, hilarious. Absolutely. You have to know, like specifically if you're that large, like Taylor Swift is, right? You have to know who your fan base is. Right? You have to know that was not the smartest thing in the world, but is it really going to affect her bottom dollar? No, she's still a billionaire, right? She's still a billionaire. You can't cancel billionaires. You can stop buying their things so they won't become a bigger billionaire, but they're still a billionaire, right? Her opinion is her opinion, regardless how misguided it may be, right? But it's her opinion. It's America. But anyway, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. Guys, before we go, are you guys subscribed to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Both are found in the description. Check it out.